All right, g'day everybody. Craig Cobb here from TraderCobb.com, taking you through and showing you what's on my watch list on this lovely Thursday afternoon here in Sydney, Australia. Before I go any further, make sure if you haven't already registered for the four-part series that you do so at TraderCobb.com/gate.io. Once you've registered, you'll get to see all three parts we've already done as recordings, so you can be ready for part 4. Okay, so we'll jump back across into what we've got here. And I've got a pretty nice little list here. We saw a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin overnight. If we look at the daily, we can see that very clearly. It bounced off of 13 and we're up at 13,290, around that sort of region. Now, we could very well push on higher from here, and it's really the lower time frames that I'm keeping an eye on just to see what goes on. As we can see here, we're sort of trying to push up through a bit of resistance here. If we can get that cyclicity back and start to move on with some nice higher highs to go with these potential higher lows, then there's certainly the potential for opportunities on pullbacks for cradle trades, very similar to what I teach in my checklist systems that you learn on that 4-part series. From Bitcoin, we move across to DOT now, and I've been keeping an eye on DOT for quite some time. Unfortunately, the 8-hour here pulled back a little bit too far for me. Unfortunate. I was really hopeful to get a little cradle just in here. But once again, if I go to this lower time frame, we can see we have pushed up through. There's a higher low, and we're starting to move for higher highs. If we can push a little bit higher, opportunities to pull back into that cradle zone will certainly present themselves, and we can look to trade those lower time frames, which tends to mean if we do get a good move, it's a bigger profit because we have a tighter stop loss there as well. So quite liking the look of DOT, although it did pull back too deep on the 8-hour. For me, it looks quite nice here on these lower time frames, and I'll just be keeping an eye on this trend and how it goes for a little while longer to see if there's opportunity for me. From there on a file, and again, resistance. You know, we look at this on the 30-minute here, resistance 1, 2, 3, higher low 1, higher low 2. You know, if you trade breakouts, there could be a potential trade there for you. If not, if it breaks above, a pull back into that region, as resistance can often act as support if retested. So again, another opportunity there, not there yet, but it's definitely on my radar for the short term. From there onto Litecoin again, we're going to look at the higher time frame and the lower time frame here. We're going to start at the daily, as we have seen a nice pullback. Now, I quite like this time frame. Simple reason, if it pulls back a little bit further and gives me a little bullish candle like that, if that fits my rules, that could certainly be a trade for me. As it stands on the 8-hour, I'm not too interested with this high to lower low, but certainly on that daily, it could represent opportunities pulling back further. That being said, we could also see this 1-hour trend start to kick on throughout the evening, so keep an eye on that. Next, we look at Uni, and we're going to look at some different time frames here on Uni. We'll go to the daily here. Looking at this as a trend, look at this bearish candle in that cradle zone, move. Bearish candle in that cradle zone, move. I'm waiting to see if that cyclicity can continue. We talked of this yesterday in the scan, and it has moved as well. Right now, I think it's got to push to new lower lows for the time being, but keeping an eye as that daily trend is very, very strong indeed for all the time being. Atom here on the 4-hour. Let's have a look at this. Lower high here, lower low. A pullback into $5 would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? And the reason it would be absolutely brilliant is because there's support there and a round number. A small bearish candle right there would certainly represent opportunity for me, and I would be very keen on looking for a potential short there if it fits my trading rules. From there on to Algo USDT. Once again, this one's standing out beautifully well. Just need to wait for that candle to close, and we've got about an hour and 10 minutes to wait. 2 hours or so to wait there. But look, again, back into that cradle, lovely move. Back into that same region, I'm looking to see if I can get an entry and carry the move down lower. Fits the rules. If it fits the rules, we take the trade. So make sure you check those rules out and work with those rules, not against them. From there, MBL, another one here, lower highs and lower lows. Back into that cradle zone beautifully well. I'll be watching this again in the next couple of hours when that candle is to close. If you haven't got an idea of what that strategy is, please make sure you do register, because it's all here waiting for you to watch through. And here is the checklist so that your trading is made very, very simple. You do not need to think, you act upon what you see. Guys, have a fantastic day. That's my watch list for today, brought to you by Gate. Share it with your friends and give this page a subscribe, like, and have a fantastic day. Bye for now.